Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one rated sportsbook app out there. I'm your host, Rudolph, joined as usual by AJ Haefele and the lovely Blais Hunter.
Ooh, lovely.
You get the lovely today. You
Nice.
get the lovely
I like
today.
it. I like
Is that like when TV shows introduce the actors and then they always have like the last person is like their biggest star, and it's like featuring that person. So now all of our introductions are just me like normal, old news, and then the other person is the lovely.
I mean, we had to do it again on last night's show when you weren't here, but you know, I didn't give Blais the lovely then, so I had to give them the lovely now.
Wow.
So,
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Most objectively attractive person on this podcast right now is Blais.
No, not even close.
It's Rudo.
It's
Rudo.
not. It's not.
It's Evan and his couch.
It might be Evan. It might be Evan.
It's actually Sarah.
She is in the background. True. Hard to argue with that one. Avs win 4-1 over the LA Kings in what was a routine victory, to the point where the first highlight I'm going to show you is going to be an Avalanche prospect, Sampo Ranta, scoring an overtime goal instead of hockey from the Avs. Ranta fumbles a puck and then goes Andre Burakovsky levels of top shelf.
Dirty.
Just filth. Is it not just filth? Is there a replay? There's got to be a replay somewhere in this bad boy, right?
Oh, yeah. Maybe not.
No, unacceptable.
That was the overtime winner, so they were all very excited about filtering onto the ice.
Yes,
to hug each other.
No, they just jump on for goals. That's how the NCAA works.
The games are 6 hours long.
P.S. Alex Newhook scored again today.
Hellison had an assist on it, no less.
Yeah,
so
wow. Matt Boldy did all the work when he fired the puck 180 feet and said, "Okay, go out skate everybody."
Well,
so that's what he did.
Avs. This felt like, for the first time in a long time, a pretty routine win for this hockey team, right?
Yeah, this was the exact kind of win that they were building towards, that we talked about all week, where it was like, look, in a normal game where a team outplays the other team to that extent, this is what it looks like. They're up 3-0 halfway through the game, and you're just like,
game's over.
All right, I guess we're just chilling till the end of this one. Yes, I'm sorry, Joseph Newhook, as he was referred to by NBCSN.
Do we just want to get into this topic off the bat? The broadcast, and I think everyone was acutely aware of the broadcast tonight, because we know 6 months from now it's going to be ESPN broadcasting these games.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a great broadcast. Let's put it that way.
I think after the game, the Avs should have sent over the Kings like a fruit basket or a thank you card or something for allowing them on the same ice as them, because it really, if you just listened to the broadcast and didn't watch any of the game, you really would have been blown away to know that, one, the Avs were in that game, and two, the Avs led and controlled that game pretty much beginning to end. So
they did have a highlight.
Broadcast.
They did have a highlight on McKinnon.
One whole highlight?
I'll give them, one whole like little segment that they did in between one of the periods. First to second.
They also told me the most memorable thing about Joe Sakic's career was his junior years. So,
like a guy that won Olympic gold medals and Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
But it was like, hey, did you know Swift Current Bronco and then Todd McClellan, also Swift Current? Wow, those guys are definitely in the same class. Definitely. It was a weird broadcast.
It was weird. Yeah.
And then I even tweeted about it. Second intermission where they were like, Kings. They were like, Kings are just, wow, what an effort in this game.
Shots were
3-0, and it was 34-17.
Yeah,
shots on
Avs
goal.
doubled up their shots, and they were like, man, the Kings are really in this game.
Maybe they got the colors mixed up, and they thought the Avs were the Kings, and the Kings were the Avs.
Well, and then in the third period, where the Avs had extended their shots on goal lead at one point, they were like, wow, LA is really, they're just not going away right now. This is so impressive. And then you fast forward 14 minutes into the period, they had 4 shots on goal. And it was like, whoa. What the hell are you guys watching?
LA down 3-0. They mustered 11 shots through the entire third period.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
like an 11-shot period against the Avalanche should have been the news. Like that should have been the thing that they were talking about, but they almost all came in the final 5 minutes when the Avs scored the empty net goal to make it 4-1. And then we're just chilling. And we're on the PK again at the very end after the Kadri penalty. It was just like, this is a joke.
Avs take 5 penalties in this game, allegedly. At least 2 of them were nonsense.
Dude, that interference call
on Kadri, oh my god, dude, what is that call?
When they showed the replay of it, I was like, you're kidding. And I kind of laughed about it because I've been drinking. And then I went back and rewound it and was like, you're kidding.
There are some bad calls in the NHL. That one's got to make the top 10 of the year because dude does a routine stick lift and the guy just fumbles his stick into space and they're like, yep, that's interference. Got him, boys.
They used to call the other guy for that type of stuff, right? The embellishment calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is the last embellishment call you've seen on an Avalanche game? I legitimately cannot remember.
Nazem Kadri last year against Minnesota when he got pulled down from behind and they said that he embellished it.
Yeah, sounds about right for Naz.
Also, Nazem Kadri against the Tampa Bay Lightning last year when he got tripped and they said he embellished that as well.
Speaking of Naz, the man put Tobias Bjornfoot on a poster tonight. Okay. My goodness.
We talk about this goal.
Yep.
Because I don't want to talk about it from Kadri's perspective, but I want to talk about it from the perspective of this is trial by fire for a lot of the young LA Kings players, and Tobias Bjornfoot is one of them. He was a high pick a couple of years ago. He's really young in the NHL, and he just learned a really hard lesson that you absolutely, positively do not defend the puck in the NHL. Do not do it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
If you go back just a little bit, you can see his pantalones fall out of his breezers right around there. Right there. Oh, whoops.
That
on the ground.
Swing around
Panties
with
on
the
stick.
Right? That swing around with the stick is oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no,
that's
this
going to be a highlight reel.
Highlight
reel tomorrow for them.
It's a great move by Kadri, but Bjornfoot, by the way he defended it and the way he had his stick on the inside of the body like that, he's begging Kadri to cut back to the middle. And unless you know you have back-checking support right there, you cannot defend like that. And the reason that I wanted to bring this one up was because it's exactly how you see the Avs, young defenders especially, not playing it. They consistently play the body. They don't play the puck. And as a team that gets drilled for not being overly physical, it's the perfect way to defend. That's exactly what you're taught from, I don't know, the beginning of, I don't know. I didn't start playing hockey until I was like 9. So I don't know what it's like when you're really, really young. But it was a great example of a young guy that just, he's not quite there yet. He was a good prospect. I don't know where he ends up getting in the NHL, but that was such bad. And Kadri just abused him. Just abused him.
Let me bring this up really quick. When you just murdered a man's whole career, this is the face that you make.
He knows it. Oh yeah, that's the face that you see the players on the bench make after a teammate has a dunk.
Yeah,
that's the face that they're all making.
So good.
It's cold-blooded right there.
Yeah, he's all. I got you.
Oh.
Looking at his teammates,
to the show.
I did that.
Super hot fire a little bit going on there. Yeah, just dropped the new mixtape.
Hot fire. I spit that.
Nasty Nas.
Nasty. Straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe we have our King of the Game graphic to go along with Kadri. The second line got the job done tonight. We're giving the King of the Game to Andre Burakovsky. 1 goal, 1 assist. He scored on the only shot he had, which was a disgustingly good backhand. Off of Burakovsky standing on the shoulders of giants tonight, because the hard work from the second line to create the turnover, to create a beautiful play on that second goal, and Burakovsky just the man to finish it. That's the play the Avs have been looking for, it feels like, for about 6 games now, where everything comes together and the pretty goal goes in.
By the way, D-Line last night on the next broadcast was speaking ill of Berkey. Just to let everyone know.
What's he speaking ill about him? What's he got to say?
They're still upset about the goatees.
Newcomer of the year.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have picked a second-year eligible then, I guess. You only get 1 go at Newcomer of the Year, all right? If there's a pick to be mad about on the goatees, it's the justices served call, because that was not the best call of the year. I'm sorry.
There weren't any good ones.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yeah.
Berkey doing just fine.
The Nuggets could go ahead and be living in that salt mine all they want. We're over here in an actual winner's lounge, supporting a team that's not floundering, doing just fine.
Ooh, all right. I like it.
The Avs are now. A serious question for both of you, and I guess both of you are a bit older than me, but Blais a little bit significantly older than me. Do people still buy CDs?
I don't.
No?
Do they still sell them?
They have to, right? Like Barnes & Noble still exists, right?
Barnes & Noble does still exist because I've seen it at the mall back in DC where my family lives.
Yeah, there's one down the street from me, but it's
don't know if they sell CDs.
Is it like buying vinyl now? Like it's like people are starting to talk about how it's just a better sound to the CD.
Yeah.
What's really funny is when you go back and watch a movie made in the mid-2000s and they just casually go by a Borders and you're like, what the? Remember when that existed?
All right.
Rudo, do you know what a laser disc is?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Barely, like when I was really, really, really little, Betamax was still a thing. Anyway, my point being, if you're going to have someone CD's nuts soon.
Are you kidding me?
Manscaped.
All of that? You got in your read?
Manscaped can get you 20% off. Head on over there. Get the perfect package 3.0. Get on it. Get the trimmer. Get the toner. Get the deodorant. You know how it goes.
What the
Manscaped.com to order. Please use the DNVR code to let them know we sent you over there to get your junk looking good on this one. Of course, we're also sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 rated sportsbook app out there. Jump on it today while you still can. They have amazing odds boosts as well. You can get all sorts of amazing deals, including you bet $4, you can turn it into $256. Betting on an underdog in March Madness coming up this next week. So get on it right now. You have $256. You have enough money to trim up those balls. That's all I'm saying. Jump on it with DraftKings Sportsbook today. Get in there, download it.
These. Just put them together.
That is brutal.
They have amazing odds boosts in not just basketball, but hockey, football, baseball, you name it. They cover every sport under the sun. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only, new customers only, restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Second
Can we make
period.
that our GOATY nomination for Call of the Year?
And include the whole time before where we're just randomly talking about CDs just for that. There's so many people in the chat right now dying. I've seen multiple people say, I am literally in tears. I am crying right now.
Oh, respect that. My glasses are all fogged up and I can't really see.
All right. As we recover our senses here, let's bring up the Avs record on this homestand because it's looking fantastic after a slow start. All right. The Avs took the OT loss. They took the loss to Arizona. They were 1-1-1 to start this thing. They are officially on their first winning streak of the season, 3 in a row after tonight, to move to 4-1-1 on the homestand. And I don't want to call it getting back on track because I don't feel like they were that off track, but look, Colorado's taking care of business here. It may not be in the way everybody wants it to look as far as, you know, they're not dumping in goals, but wins are wins, right?
Yeah. I mean, you look at that and you think the Hunter Miska game, which I'm calling it that, which is a little unfair. Because there was a lot in that went into blowing a 4-2 lead against Anaheim in the third period.
For sure.
And then the Arizona game where they had the 3 deflections off Avs players get by Philip Grubauer.
Yeah. Two kind of nonsensical losses, to say the least.
And it's like, look, those are 3 points that they could have easily had. But you know, they don't, and it's just like, okay, you gotta keep moving on. But you look at it and you look back, and it's easy to be like, okay, in the moment, it was like, this was bad, this was frustrating, this was whatever. That 6-2 loss to San Jose, though, really has, we talked, they needed that to be a jumping off point for them. And given the way that they've played, I think it's fair to say that it has done its job. They have responded properly to that loss.
Agreed.
I think this is a great time for the Avs to get hot because, like, if you look at that homestand, those last 2 games, there's another hot team coming in here with the Wild. Which
Minnesota playing well. They won again today.
They're playing very well. Yeah, they're looking good. So I think this is great warm up for a good matchup that's going to come from another team that's looking for a playoff spot.
And
they finished today. You know, everybody's like, oh yeah, well, what place are they in? You know, we had some guy give us some guy sent some shit to us about Avs media and with the meme with the guy celebrating hardcore and like, you know, he's like drinking the champagne and squirting it all over the place, and then he's like 3rd place on the podium while 1st and 2nd place looking at him. And they're like, oh, this is how Avs media is treating the Avs right now. And it's like, look, they're in third place right now, but they are closer to first place than they are to missing a playoff spot.
Yeah, to be clear.
So all of this consternation over the last week about, oh my God, they're going to screw around and miss the playoffs. First of all, it was stupid then, which is why we said it was stupid then. And it remains stupid now. There's a lot of work that has to go into them missing the playoffs. There's a lot of failure that has to happen between now and then for them to miss the postseason.
Here's the Western Division. Avs 3 points behind Vegas, 1 point behind Minnesota, 1 point ahead of St. Louis now with 2 games in hand, and 6 points ahead of Los Angeles, who is out of the playoff spot right now.
Yeah, and P.S., the Avs have games in hand on both L.A. and Arizona.
Yep. No one is close to the Avs and taking away that spot at the moment. So,
there's a lot of work that has to happen. They just had LA and Arizona both come in, and the Avs went, 3-1?
Yep. They lost 1 game to LA and Arizona. So they buried the teams that aren't supposed to be competing for their playoff spot.
Yeah. But if the Avs can finish off this homestand, look what that does, though, right there. I mean, with Minnesota being right above the Avs, right, that changes the game for the Avs again. Striking distance against Las Vegas from that. And
they get a chance against the Ducks here again on Tuesday. They have another shot at them where, they've played 3 overtime games against the Ducks this year.
Ducks have played 9 overtime games this year, by the way. They
really
have a knack for making it to OT. But yeah, they get another crack at the Ducks team, which they had to take to OT twice and lost one of. As of late, in this stretch of games where we said the Avs needed to win 12 of 16 coming through March, you take the 4-1-1 and throw it on top of that pile, and you're feeling pretty okay about it. They end up being, what is it? Is it 5-3 in that stretch, or are we including the Arizona games at the end?
Well, and really it was the 24 out of 32 points.
Right. OT points are impactful. So
yeah, because we didn't when we said they need to win those 12 games, we didn't really consider OTLs in there.
So
because we cover Colorado and we don't see them go into overtime very often.
That was immediately after the Vegas series, right?
Yep. It was because that was 16 games in between Vegas games where we said, look, they don't play Vegas and they don't play St. Louis in this entire stretch. This is their chance to really just on the rest of the division.
They have 14 points right now.
Out of a possible...
I don't know. Because numbers are hard. But they have 5 games left.
In that 16-game stretch?
In that 16-game stretch. Again, you go Anaheim, the 2 Minnesota games, and then they go on the road in Arizona for the final 2 of the stretch. Okay. If they win them all, they get to 24. So,
all right. Well, they have a shot at it.
Yep, it's not off the table yet. I think that's the point that we're making here is they could do that well, and as the division is shaping up, if they go 11 and we'll call it 22 points, it wouldn't be 11-5 because of OT wins, but if they get 22 points, they're feeling comfortable. Maybe it's not the perfect world where they get the ground covered on Vegas that they wanted. Yeah. But they're just fine in the division. A couple more wins puts St. Louis completely in the rearview mirror. And right now it's Minnesota and Colorado. That series is going to define who's second in this division.
You have 6 games this year against St. Louis on the schedule ahead of you. So wherever they are in the division, those are 2 teams that still have almost all of their business to sort out between themselves.
Yep.
So, wherever they are in relation to each other in the standings, it's not going to matter a whole lot until they start to actually play games against each other. Minnesota, though, is Minnesota's interesting. I see a lot of the stats people starting to be like, I underrated Minnesota, and like Minnesota's actually good. And then you go and you look at their PDO of like 1040, and you're like, come on. They do some things really well, and there's no doubt.
Look,
but come on.
Rizov is a baller, but the rest of the team, I don't know.
And it's like as we've said all along, they have good players. But this, for my money, this stretch of hockey, I still think is going to be the best stretch they have all year. That's not to say they will totally fall off the table. They won't be competitive. They won't win plenty of games. None of that. But they have kind of played the way the Avs have, but you add in the goals. And then in the games where they haven't played particularly well, the goals are still there.
Yep.
So I just think that those two games coming up are going to be huge because head-to-head, they are 2-1-1 against Minnesota right now.
Yep. It's the next... You have the Anaheim game, then you have the big series against Minnesota, then you get the back-to-back against Arizona tucked in there, and then you have the big series against Vegas.
Yep.
The next 14 days are going to really define the Western Division at the halfway point, basically.
Well, and this was the week that we were eyeballing. This was the 2-3 weeks that we were eyeballing where, San Jose, Anaheim, Arizona, LA, where it was like, look, they've got to eat greedy here. They've got to do a great job. They have to win. They have to just start banking points. You got to keep up in this race, right? You got to bank points. And they're doing that. And you could be frustrated about the lack of goals that they've scored, all that, but ultimately they've done what they needed to do. And today was such a boring businessman-like win that we are 28 minutes into the show and we have barely talked about it.
This is what people wanted to see out of Colorado, though, right? Yeah. They want to see Colorado win routine against the weaker teams in the division. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Mm-hmm. It took a little bit to get there. The Avs had 20 shots on goal, only scored one in the first period. It took them until the latter half of the second period to get the second one. Then it finally happened, right? Donskoy ends up batting in a puck that Nichushkin shoots in. I guess it hits Renouf.
It definitely hits like Renouf's like stick or skate or something and bounces up over Peterson's shoulder, and it was like.
So this is what puck luck looks like.
Yeah, straight up.
For once.
Yeah. And
it was just like today's win was what they needed, is what they deserved. Like when we talk about a team deserving a better fate, this was it. LA's feistier than I expected this year, and kudos to them. But like, you still saw there's a huge gap between these two teams.
Yeah, LA been riding a renaissance of Anze Kopitar, and he was the complete non-factor in this 2-game series. Like, he might as well have not been on the ice as far as the Avs were concerned.
Yeah, well, when we talk about the top line this and the top line, how did the top line fare? And then you go and like you look at the numbers, and top line just did just fine. Like they didn't score until until the goalie had vacated the net.
The Mikko Mack empty netter becoming a staple, maybe.
Everybody in the world will tell you that line has to score for them to be successful long term. But this is why they went out and they got the second line that they did. So when those guys aren't scoring, they're doing just fine.
Yep.
The fall off isn't really there. You look at the shot numbers and they're right about even. Okay. For that top line, like that's fine. It's just not that big of a deal. Where Colorado had a problem today was against the Gabe Velarde, Jeff Carter, Andreas Athanasiou line.
Yep.
They struggled there.
And this continues to be, in my opinion, a bit of a matchup problem. You get AHL defenseman in there. You get a Dan Renouf. You get a Greg Patterin in there who call it their skating, call it whatever you want. They just don't quite play at an NHL pace. And you get someone like Athanasiou who just has wheels, and he's just going to burn those dudes. Like, it's just part of the formula.
Yeah, and LA has invested in a lot of those guys in the last couple of years, guys that maybe you've never heard of, but guys that can really skate.
Yep.
You know, I didn't notice Austin Wagner at all today, but that guy's good for like a breakaway a week. Just because he'll just outskate somebody. You know, last game he outskated Devon Taves to get to create his chance. You know, the Kings are not the Kings that we remember.
Yeah.
They have a couple of those holdovers from that era, you know, Jeff Carter and Doughty, Brown, Kopitar. But otherwise, they're totally different identity-wise.
An interesting question from Eric here, who asks, when Makar and Byram get back, do you see much changing as far as on-ice results? I don't know about results necessarily, but I think you'll see a difference in the way the Avs function, right? So a lot of people have complaints right now about Ryan Graves shooting from the left point. We had a shift tonight in this game where Devon Taves got the puck in the right circle. Shoot the puck, dude.
Yeah. He's been a little gun-shy lately. It's been a little odd to see. It's not really his MO.
Makar and Byram are not going to be afraid to pull the trigger if they get down deep in the zone. We saw in the second period Greg Patterin driving the far post. The pass came in super hot and he didn't connect to it, but it's so easy to see how much more dynamic the Avs offense is going to be when it's Cale Makar jumping up into the play over a Jacob McDonald or something like that. And not taken away from McDonald. That's McDonald's game, but McDonald isn't doing the ridiculous Allen Iverson crossovers that Cale Makar can do to create shooting lanes. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, Makar, obviously, he creates the kinds of chances that, frankly, no other Avs defenseman does with his legs. Sam Girard, Devon Taves included. And with Byram's a little different because we haven't really seen his offense translate to the NHL yet.
Yep.
Like, we talk about Byram as like plug and you automatically get better with Bowen Byram versus Dan Renouf. And it's like, okay, sure, I totally would agree with that. But who is Bowen Byram as an NHL player is still
undefined for sure.
Completely undetermined.
Yeah.
We just don't know. But what they do as a unit, when those guys were healthy, what they were doing together is that they would get the puck, and they have both the confidence and the skill to get it out within 2 or 3 seconds. It's in the zone and it's out of the zone. Even when teams were forechecking them and they dump it in and they have to turn their back and go and retrieve the puck, they could do it without any real problem. Like, to be honest with you, they just weren't struggling.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're such good skaters and they're such naturally gifted puck movers that they get it out and they move, poof, and it's gone. You know, Makar will get his points. That guy just creates offense in a way that they don't have right now. And I think it will help Girard because his legs will be fresher to have a little bit of the load taken off his minutes, because Devon Taves can go ahead and do this all year. I don't think that it would bother him at all because there's an economy in motion involved in his game that doesn't exist with Girard. Girard has to skate, and Makar does this too.
Yep.
Both of those guys skate so much every single game where there's not a lot of shifts where they're just like, okay, I just stopped here and I did that. Every time they get the puck, they're just like, all right, I'm going. And like you just naturally wear down when you skate that much. Where Taves has the advantage is that he understands. You know, I think some of that is youthful exuberance and inexperience in a top role. Every guy in the world wants to think I can be the man. I got this. I can handle this. When Eric Johnson was averaging 25, 26 minutes a night, it wasn't because he was flying up and down the ice all game long.
Yeah.
It was because he would go out there and he would understand. He would understand how to pick his spots. And that's a big thing that I think both Girard and Makar still have to learn. And as they develop into top flight defensemen, they've got to figure these things out.
For clarity, Girard, on a third period that the game was relatively over, and so the Avs could back off on some guys. Girard played only 23 minutes, which is still a ton, but it's not the 26, 27, 28 we've seen.
Yeah.
Taves put up 27 minutes again tonight.
Yeah.
The dude is just a machine right now.
Some of that is PK. Girard has been playing on the PK, but Graves goes out there first with Taves. So when Graves was in the box, then Girard went out first. But otherwise, that's an area where I think they're separating. But Girard is showing himself. This dude could play in all situations for you.
Yep.
It's not always going to be pretty. There are going to be games where he fights the puck, but there are games where Makar fights the puck. Guess what? They're human. It's hard to believe sometimes because they do some superhuman shit every once in a while, but they wear down and they have off days. What's so big about Makar getting back outside of his singular talent is the way that they can alleviate the pressure on the other guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, with Makar coming back, the PP1, I think you're going to see a more effective unit out there as well, just because he's going to be anchoring that unit.
It's a different beast, right? Like, let's be honest, no one is ever going to respect Sam Girard's shot. Period. Full stop from the point.
It's just not well, and even he doesn't show confidence. He doesn't show enough confidence in it himself for other teams to be like, "Oh, Sam Girard," like they're not game planning against that. They know he's moving it, and he's a great distributor.
Yeah,
but that's just won't be a thing that happens on in that part of his game.
And look, I'm not saying Makar has the greatest point shot in the world or anything because he doesn't, but he has the ability to create space and create a shooting lane and get a quality shot towards the net that Girard just doesn't have. And when you have that threat, it's the way the other team has to PK is just completely different.
They attack up high in a different way.
Yeah.
They have to attack the guy up high knowing that if they don't, he'll take 3 steps in.
Yeah. He's not afraid to close the distance for sure.
Knowing that he can get back on 99% of the players in the NHL. That if a block shot goes against him, he can make up that ground just with the skating ability. So he'll take steps in if you don't attack him high. And then once you do that, that's where that allows Rantanen to take those 2 steps forward and make himself a lot harder to defend and open up more of a legitimate shooting area.
Basically in the corner.
And not have him be, 2 steps right of that face-off dot trying to fire one-timers into no angle.
Yeah.
Where even if that one goes in, the goalie doesn't believe it because he's like, I sealed the post. Where could that puck possibly go in?
Yeah.
So that's where, whenever Makar comes back. I think Byram is this week, though.
Yeah,
I don't have any official confirmation on that, but
I think both Byram and Confer skating with the team in no contact jerseys. So
yeah, I think that if it's not Tuesday, certainly Wednesday, we see Byram back in the lineup.
Yeah. So good news on that front. We can take our second period break there as we are sponsored by Strava Craft Coffee. The CBD-infused coffee that has really changed lives. If you haven't ordered yet, you can get 20% off with code DNVR20. If you're a second-time buyer, you can get 25% off with code DNVR25. Wow, excuse me. I had a few beers.
Nice!
Head on over to StravaCraftCoffee.com. The CBD is great. It helps with migraines, aches and pains, IBS, a ton of other stuff. We have other products like Green Roads as well that I'm sure AJ can confirm really helped with his migraine the other week. So it's good stuff. Yeah, look at the Green Roads gummies right there. Strava Craft Coffee.
If really you need help coffee, with that migraine.
If you need your CBD, they will take care of you. They have you totally covered. We love all of our partners. Strava Craft, one of our longest partners at DNVR right now too, I think. So
yeah, we've been advertising with Strava Craft basically since the jump.
Yep, they were the first people to sponsor the Daily Sports Report, so they've been with us for at least 4 years now.
There you go. Way longer than me.
We've been with them for 4 years.
Yes.
It's a symbiotic relationship, all right? We've been together for 4 years, all right? just like that. Head to StravaCraft. Supporting our partners is supporting us. We are also sponsored by Chevalier Mortgage, a small family-owned business just like us here at DNVR. If you are looking into buying a new home, I recommend moving before the snowstorm.
A place, if you're looking to buy a new home, a place that you can store your 150 Colorado Mammoth pencils that you bought from
If you need a very specific closet, Mike in Virginia can find exactly that for you. Head to DNVRmortgage.com. You can get a free consultation and also the opportunity to win some free DNVR merch over there, and they'll get you all set up. Not only with a great rate on your home loan, but Mike is a financial planner, so he has you covered with the big picture. They can take a look at everything going on with your finances, set you up for the right home loan for you, and get you good to go for the future. Again, great people. We love them over here. Family owned, local, all the good stuff. Head on over to DNVR Mortgage and give them a call today. You can reach Virginia at 303-257-6578. Michael Chevalier, NMLS 1931006. Virginia Chevalier, NMLS 1910631. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Thank you, everyone, for all the super chats today. We've seen a bunch of y'all. We appreciate all of them, whether it be the Dr. Dubs or just donating however you feel it. What happens when Compher gets back to injury? Does Pierre-Edouard Bellemare sit? Yeah. That is the question.
Because we have a consensus here on what should happen and a serious – where's that doubt meme? Because
X to doubt for sure.
Because I'm jamming on my X button, doubting that it's going to be Bellemare. I think it'll be LOC. I truly, and I know this is going to cause some people to set themselves on fire as they rage at it, but I can't see it being Tyson Jost. He's just been too rock solid, even in an elevated role. Today he was so good at times today. I have my nitpicks with Jost, but you just can't pull that guy out.
He was buzzing today. Man, he was all over everybody.
Avs 5 for 5 on the PK. Tyson Jost is their number one PKer now, right?
He's like legitimately the guy. Tyson Jost, just as an aside, I thought it was really interesting this 2-game set that the Avs went. I think they went 8 for 8 across the 2 games on the PK. And so many of the penalties they took, like Bellemare got called, O'Connor got called, Jost got called, Calvert got called. Yeah. It was like all the PK forwards. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Come on. And 8 for 8.
Yep. And they made it work.
I just don't. Look, I understand with the JT Compher, like he's been too good for too long in recent years for you to just sit the guy. But this is maybe where you look at the schedule and you do a little load management. You give a guy a game off here and there where you say, look, this has nothing to do with performance and everything to do with, we're just going to give you an extra day. Give LOC an extra day to recharge the young legs. Give Bellemare, he's old. Give him a day to try.
I think it seems easy, right? To get that rotation going. At very least, unless or until JT Compher picks it up and starts looking like the player he's been before this season.
Yeah, agreed. Because if JT Compher gets in the lineup and he plays to his capability, you really don't want to talk about taking him out.
Yeah.
You really, really don't, because we know that guy is a legit, solid NHL player. If you try and take good... Have you ever fought a bear in a phone booth? Because if you try and take Matt Calvert out of the lineup when he's healthy, I imagine that's what it's like.
I have zero problems with Matt Calvert's game. The dude, he's an energy monster. The fourth
he makes a difference for that line.
Such a different beast with him on it.
Such a workhorse, man.
Yeah, he's so solid. At that move that he made at the end of the second period, Bellemare was like, "I'm old, I'm tired, I'm going back to the bench." And Calvert's down there dipsy doodling around their top power play unit, and you're like, "What the hell is going on here? What am I watching?"
If he had F2 just driving the net, I know like it was shorthanded like that was just gonna be nasty.
Like anytime you drive the net on a PK, like
that's trouble.
I'm pretty sure. Like I heard on the broadcast, he shouted "La Tornade" as he was going towards the net.
That's right.
Andrew asks, "What is Nuke doing differently for offensive boom?" Pucks are just going in, man.
I mean, I think we saw this at the start of last year as well, where he had a slow start to the season, and like 15, 20 games in, you were like, okay, it's starting to slowly build. You're starting to see some things here. But the first 10 games especially, it was like,
there's no offense here.
Is this guy even playing? And it didn't stand out as much this year because the bottom six had such
no one was scoring.
A glacial offensive start. But Nichushkin, in one, when you get a goal, he is a perfect example of how confidence changes a goal scorer. All of a sudden, that guy was trying to find teammates because he was like, I can't beat a goalie. And now this guy's flying down the wing, and he's like, all right, I'm either going to put my head down, whip this thing out, slap a dude around with it, and go drive the net and score a goal, or I'm just going to shoot it and I'm going to score.
Make sure you manscape when you slap dudes around with it, all right?
Dude, he's the ultimate big bonk energy right now.
Nuke is the big bonk.
There's no bigger energy than a nuke bonk.
I mean, if you're Nuke too, you just go to the middle of the ice and be like, yeah, come at me. Like, let's go toe to toe. You can try to hit me, but it's going to be fun for you. That is a monster coming down the middle of the ice, right? Like if he cuts to the middle, it's like, well, I'm about to die.
Yeah. Like you think Tobias Bjornfoot is handling that? No, he's shitting himself.
Yeah.
Like he's like, that's a really big man. Just shoot it, dude. I trust my goalie. Yeah, of course. So that's the difference, really. It's funny because it's just like confidence.
Yeah.
It's not an X's and O change. It's not a fundamental change. It's confidence. And I always tell people, I'm like, how do you feel when you're feeling confident in your life? Like you're getting up and you're going to the gym and you're like, you've got like this endless to-do list that we call life, right? You start attacking that thing. You're going after it. You're checking shit off that list, and you're like, "Oh my god, watch me work, baby! I'm a monster!" And you're just feeling it, like you're feeling yourself. Everything's working for you. The universe and you are in sync. It's just the best thing ever, and it's no different for hockey players. Val Nichushkin is just feeling it right now, and you just let it ride. Look, 2 weeks from now, maybe it's not still happening. It probably isn't. Because if it was going to happen every single game for a long period of time, he wouldn't be a bottom six player.
Yeah.
Is this the face of confidence?
That's the face of confidence and dominance. That's what that is. That's a dude that's not a guy that ever lacks confidence, though.
True.
You know, and one guy that I do think is struggling a little bit with the confidence right now, I think it's Nathan McKinnon.
I don't disagree. He had that power play against Arizona where he passed up a shot opportunity, had a poor pass to the middle. He has not been the ridiculous dominant force we're used to at 5-on-5 in the last couple of games. Yes, he's picked up the empty netters, great, but empty netters don't do much for your confidence. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, they do a lot more for guys that aren't accustomed to scoring on goaltenders all the time. This is a guy that's accustomed to doing special things. I mean, I remember last year, I remember tweeting out, like, it's really frustrating to watch McKinnon keep firing off these one-time slap shots on the power play. He never scores on them. He scores 2 in that game. And, of course, I look like an asshole. And for the next, 4 games is all he does. It's just pure confidence. He just rides that adrenaline. And then he remembers. So he's like, oh, yeah. Right. That's not what I do.
I'm a good hockey player.
Yeah, where he's like, right, I'm gonna make so much money someday when this stupid contract ends because I score in way other ways than this. And like right now I feel like he's squeezing it a little bit where he's just like nothing's working. He's trying the spinorama blind backhand into stuff. He's trying slap shots. He's trying the wrist from the point. He's doing that thing where he hangs out like he's the left defenseman. Yeah. And then he takes the puck and then he cuts down into the zone and then he cuts into the middle, hard into the middle to cause a bunch of chaos. And he's one of like 5 guys in the world where you're like, I'm okay with him doing this.
Maybe he can actually do this. Yeah.
And it ends up in turnovers, and his play on the power play has been especially awful. Yeah. I know everybody hates Ray Bennett, wants to fire the coach, but just watching the way McKinnon has played on the power play lately, he's been horrible. He's not doing anything remotely dangerous. Now, some of this can be attributed to the fact that he is who he is, and opposing teams are game planning for him, but not all of it. It's not like opposing teams weren't game planning for him the last 3 years. He's just not finding it right now.
Yeah, Mac needs to come out on fire in one of these games because, like, those empty netters too are probably more frustrating for him than anything else as well. Like, just scoring those points because those, it's like I'm at my stats, but I'm not really contributing.
He doesn't.
To the team.
I will tell you, he doesn't give a shit.
If I tried about the empty netters, yeah,
he would. If I asked him about that, he would shut me down on television so freaking hard.
You don't think he's frustrated about that though?
Dude,
I think he gets frustrated. I mean, he might not. You might not.
I'm sorry, but I think Nathan McKinnon is always frustrated because that's where he operates at his highest frequency.
Yeah,
that's where he vibes in the universe.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's happening in the DNVR lounge right now, but deep fried memes have hit the DNVR lounge because he just lost to Yeehaw Bauer. Shout out Brad Francis making this meme. If you
Has
want,
Brad Francis been doing Sunday afternoon drinking with us?
It sure seems like it, man. It sure seems like it. If you want to be part of the DNVR fam, consider subscribing and becoming a member today over at thednvr.com. We love all of y'all over there. You can have chats with Brad Francis, with Fort Paulo, with us all here, and Evan Rawal as well, down in the Avalanche channel of the Discord on the DNVR Lounge. It's always a blast to be out there. There's always something fun going on one way or another. Consider subscribing today. The monthly rate is something like, it's like 99 cents for the first month or something insane. So, yeah. Sign up for the DNVR. Give it a try, at least for that. Anyway, moving into the final thoughts on this hockey game.
Man, my final thoughts are, I've been drinking. I just want to talk Avs hockey all day.
Oh, my God. Tell me about it. This is why you need to join the DNVR Lounge, because it's just going to be AJ and myself and Blais in there like, yeah, this thing happened. This was stupid. Or how dope was that? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm in a mood to just talk hockey right now because I took a solid pure day off yesterday, and I was good. I was like, okay, I'm set. Let's do this thing.
All right.
My bladder hates me right now. I'll just say that.
Neither of you have gone to take your leak yet.
I did. I did it during the 50-second countdown to the show.
Oh, wow. What a speed demon.
Wow.
My bathroom is just on the other side of
the I think this sums it up. See these two G's? They went in the net. That's what happened in this hockey game. What do you want me to say beyond that?
It's like you cracked an egg and you found goals inside of it.
Easter happens in April? March?
What's Easter? I don't know the Fortnite song.
That has nothing to do with Fortnite.
No. Somebody was asking me in the chat if I could sing this Fortnite song. I don't know it.
Just wipe Tomato Town. Let's go. That's the only part I know.
Yeah, totally unfamiliar.
Oh, you can find it.
Dude, was that made by an 8-year-old kid? Like, to be clear, it sounds like it was made by an 8-year-old kid. I'm not hipping with it, chat. Where's Liam when we need him? I bet he knows.
It's like
his parents
a
probably
12-year-old.
restricted him from the post-game pods after listening to one of them. They were like, whoa, no. Hard out.
Oh, AJ saw the deep fake. That's why we're talking about it.
I didn't know the song, so it kind of just went over my head where I was like, this is creepy.
On mine, I said, this is terrifying for sure. Yeah. Oh, God.
Wait, I didn't press the sound one.
No.
Yeah, you have to play it with
Hold
sound.
on.
And
We don't have to play it. It's
we're
okay.
definitely getting copyrighted if you do play it, by the way.
Really?
It's a YouTuber. Yeah, that dude's going to claim the hell out of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't play it, but it's amazing. Go
look up
to
the
it.
tweet.
Yeah,
I
just go find
retweeted it from the DNVR Avs account. It's
Thanks for
Wait,
that.
so like, how are people doing this? Like, how?
Wombo.ai. It says right there in the top corner.
Okay, so okay, cool. Never
Yeah.
mind.
I wonder what Allie's doing tonight.
Oh my God, one of those with Henry would be hilarious.
Oh, Henry needs one of those for sure. Because like if you had Henry singing like one of the more mainstream songs that you can do there, like people would actually believe it was him.
He should be singing Barbie Girl by Aqua.
Oh my God.
All right, so final thoughts actually here. Did the Avs set it to W for Wumbo in this game, or what? What happened here?
Yeah, I mean, they just did work, man. This is what it looks like. You're a better team, and you play like it. You finish the chances. You play to your potential to an extent. You know, this is just what it looks like.
Yep.
If
Every line
anything,
did it.
it's interesting because the Kings have had Colorado's number, right? We've talked about how the Kings are like that team for Colorado. And in these two games, didn't matter one damn bit. Thank God no Jonathan Quick, though.
Oh, my God. You know these games are like shutouts for
Yeah, these would have both gone. These both would have been 0-0 going into overtime.
Speaking of confidence, right, AJ, against a team?
Yeah, no kidding, man. For whatever reason, that guy loves playing the Avs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, every line was just going, right? Like, limited the mistakes. They look like they're getting hot at the right time. Let's go, Avs.
There you go. I mean, look, there's like a ridiculous amount of snow on the ground outside right now. So
Yeah, I love all of the meteorologists don't know what they're talking about. Real quiet today. Are you the guy that had to abandon your car on E470 out there by my house on Smoky? Because
yeah,
bad call, Chief.
I like how there were some cars like off the road abandoned. It's like, all right, you messed up and you drove off the road. And then there's like a car in the middle of the road that's like, nope, can't drive in this. Sorry, man.
And with like the confidence, you just leave it with the confidence of like, nobody's going to hit me. There's nobody out here.
No chance anybody makes it this far up this road.
Yeah. like a weird like achievement for yourself. I did it. I'm safe.
On that note, stay inside, stay safe, everybody. We have post-game content headed your way, whether it be AJ's breakdown, Evan's grades, my video breakdown, which, oh my God, there's actually Avalanche goals to break down on my video tonight. I'm so excited. Let's go. Officially, we got like 29 inches of snow right now. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Does us a ton. We really appreciate it when y'all do that. We're trying to push 10K subscribers on YouTube now. Got 900, 800, something like that to go. We want to get it in there. So,
Well, no, we have 900. We don't have 900 to go to get. Oh, never mind.
we have like 9,100 ish.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I can do math sometimes. I promise. Anyway, I guess that's going to wrap it up for the day. It's not even really evening.
Do we really get 29 inches?
According to like the Weather Channel stuff on The internet? Yeah, we did.
Well, so did the Kings.
Hey, let's go. On that note, thank you for watching, listening, however you consume it, the podcast. You can always catch it after the fact on YouTube or in podcast format. Highly recommend. We already did the Manscaped segue. There's no going back. We only get one of those a show, all right? Hopefully,
Are you gonna top yourself?
yeah,
How you gonna top that?
That one's gonna be tough to top for sure.
Ooh.
That one was good. Hopefully, everyone stays safe today, tonight, tomorrow.
Q&A show tomorrow.
Give us your questions. We'll put out a tweet probably here shortly, asking for questions for the AMA for the Avs podcast. So give us some nonsense questions or give us some hockey questions, whatever you're feeling. Until then, we'll talk to y'all next time.